Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our School Choice Facebook Live Q&A session. This is an opportunity for you as our Hamilton County Schools family to ask questions about our upcoming school choice application process. And we have with us our team of school choice members who will talk with you about the different areas of school choice and our upcoming deadline. And we look forward to having you enter some of your questions. Let us know what you're thinking about school choice in terms of just like any final thoughts that you may have before the application deadline on January 31st.
Hey, everybody. My name is Jim Bowles. I'm the Director of Access and School Choice. And while I'm not the direct supervisor, I do kind of oversee the process for magnet schools, open enrollment, early college and career, future ready institutes, and charter. So we've been really diligent this year about the process and trying to improve it for you. This team here has worked very hard for that. This is one of our second to last opportunities for support. We did some sessions like this back in December. We had a support session out at West 40th Street where people could come in and actually get hands-on help with a computer right there with one-on-one help. And then we did a Facebook Live also in December right before the holidays. And of course, just last week, we had our school choice fair down at the Convention and Trade Center. And then tonight is our second Facebook Live. And then next week on January 23rd, we will be having one more in-person school choice help session at the boardroom from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So we hope that all these opportunities are super helpful. And I know that we get these Facebook Lives posted on YouTube for you to go back and review. And we also have some videos on our website that are supportive as well. So we hope these have all been helpful to you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kelly Kofelt, and I'm really happy to be here with you tonight. I am the coordinator of charter schools in Hamilton County, which means that I work particularly with our 8 charter schools that we have within our district. Number 9 will be opening this fall, Chad Academy. So any questions about how their processes work or anything would come to me. I've worked in magnet schools and school choice in Hamilton County my entire 25 plus career. So I'm happy to help you and help answer your questions tonight.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Blakely, and I'm the Future Ready Institute's district lead. We also have a Future Ready Institute's district coach who works directly with the schools on different project-based learning and instructional areas. I work primarily with the 13 high schools that house our 28 institutes.
Can you hear you?
Thank you all for joining us. It has really been a great pleasure working with the school choice team. And so I am so glad to be working with Lisa, Kelly, and Jim. And so, well, let's jump into some of the questions that we're now getting. One question is Snow Hill a school choice school in the 2023 school year? And so there's a secondary question about what grades are opening. Jim, could you kind of respond to that, since that's kind of a two-part question for you?
Yes, I just did a really quick search because I do not have all those memorized. But Snow Hill does happen to be a school of choice this year, and they will fall under the open enrollment category of that. So to see the grade levels that are available for that, I encourage you to go to the Hamilton County School website and click on the school choice icon, which will take you to our main page on the school choice page. And just to the left, there's about 4 or 5 different selections that you can make. And you can see one that says school choice availability. When you click on that, that will take you to a spreadsheet that shows you the schools that are participating in the school choice this year and what grade levels and how many students they're taking per grade level. So that will be really helpful to you to see that, uh, and it's there for you on the website.
So, Jim, since we're talking about open enrollment schools, can you talk about what schools, what is an open enrollment school?
No problem. So yeah, so open enrollment's relatively new to us over the last couple of years, and so we understand there has been a lot of confusion about open enrollment. But essentially, open enrollment is a school that's not at capacity, and I think this year I think it's at 93% or 95. I used to know that, but I think there is a formula that determines that, and so the formula determines the number of seats that are available at that school, and so the school has the opportunity to decide where those numbers best fit into their grade levels, and that's how those are selected. So. Uh, Ms. Kofelt just had a little message for me here for our last person that Snow Hill has grades 1, 2, and 3 in the lottery. So to answer your question, Snow Hill is a 1, 2, and 3. So uh, I think that answers the question.
Okay, so another question we have, Lisa, if you could respond to this. So, future ready, does that apply to incoming freshmen?
Yes, actually it does. Last week, we had the opportunity to meet with all of the eighth graders who were able to attend on either Tuesday or Wednesday at our Get Future Ready event at the Convention Center. And Mr. Bowles mentioned that earlier in this program. But yes, it's open to freshmen, and you can find out more information about each of the institutes on the Hamilton County website under school choice. And we have those listed by the pathways that students may be interested in, as well as by the school.
Okay. And another really good question, and I really appreciate all of our families chiming in because we're getting some great questions coming. Just keep them coming because typically if you have a question, someone else does as well. So another one, the question is asking about Ivy Academy. Kelly, do you mind speaking, just where Ivy Academy falls in the school choice process?
Absolutely. So Ivy Academy is a charter school and is considered a school of choice in Hamilton County. Some of our charter schools do choose to join our lottery process, and Ivy is one of those schools. So when you go to our website or to your parent power school and you pull up the school choice lottery application, you will see the listing of Ivy if it is open for the grade you're applying for. So that's something I should explain to you. When you go to your application, you will only see the schools that have openings for your student's grade that you're applying for. So if my student is entering ninth grade next year, I'm only going to see schools that have ninth grade openings. If it's not listed, that means that school is not does not have openings for the lottery this year. So yes, Ivy Academy is included in our schools of choice, and it's easy to apply this year because they are listed on your Hamilton County Schools application.
Okay, great. Another question that we've gotten is, where can I find information about the new University High at UTC?
So there is, I believe there is a link in our school choice webpage. However, if that is not there, because University High is a new option, if for any reason that's not there, we will get that posted first thing in the morning. There is quite a bit of information, though, that we can help you with on that. Please know that the University High is what we call a non-process school. While you will be applying, that list will be sent to the upcoming principal and to the committee, who will be doing some additional steps that will take place. And part of that is an interview process, and they have already started that. So I know a lot of schools you could apply through your school as well. If you're a high school student, talk to your high school guidance counselor. They can be very helpful with that. But I will check that here and make sure that it is up if it is not. But I believe it is under our school choices, and you can just click on University High and get that information.
So, Jim, now that you mentioned processed and non-processed schools, are there any other schools that you want to mention to our families that fall within that realm, just to be aware of?
Of the non-processed, yes. So when I speak of a non-processed school, that means that it doesn't necessarily go to a lottery process. What it does is it compiles a list that will go to the school, meaning that there are additional steps that have to be taken for that entry of that school. So I could probably list them off the top. I'll do my best to list them off the top of my head. CCA, which has an audition, Sequoia Vocational School, Legacy Box, which is Legacy Box and Gestamp, which are work-based, Collegiate High at Chattanooga State, Volkswagen Mechatronics and the EV program, which is the new EV program, which is electric vehicles. Gone blank here.
And Jim, I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but thank
No,
you
you're
so
fine.
much for mentioning that list, because a lot of times our families are, concerned about the audition with CCA. So thank you so much for sharing that.
I've got two more. Polytech Academy, which is also at Chattanooga State, and of course, I think I said our virtual school.
Okay, great. So another parent question that has come in is, we're new to this area. Is there an opportunity to visit the school or schools that we're considering? If so, how do we coordinate this?
I'll be glad to take that one as well. We do have visitations posted under the school choice part of the website, though. So a lot of schools have either already had some of their events or maybe having some come up. But here's the thing to do. Please reach out to the school if you've perhaps missed an opportunity for that. I know that most of our schools are more than welcome to set up an appointment with you and take the opportunity to show you around the school and answer any questions that you might have. So that's always a great way, is to reach out, but you should be able to find most of our schools' opportunities on our school choice website.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So an additional question, and this one talks about transportation at our Future Ready Institutes. And so is there going to be bus transportation available to and from Future Ready Institutes? So for example, we're zoned for Hickson High and looking forward to applying to Future Ready Institute at East Ridge.
I know that in the past there have been hubs. Of course, this is my first year with Future Ready Institutes, but I do know that in the past we have had hubs that can take students, where they can meet there and then get an additional bus to their program where their school is. But what I've put on the school choice page of the website is to contact the transportation department with any questions about transportation. So I don't know that they have that available yet, that information available yet, but you can call and there's a number on that page.
Okay.
Future Ready Institutes. There's a drop down for transportation.
Okay. And since we're getting a few more questions regarding transportation, Jim, could you speak to just the different transportation options that apply to our magnet schools? And Kelly, you may want to mention regarding open enrollment and charter schools as well.
Great. Yeah, I'll take care of magnet. So very similar to some of the Future Readies, except magnet schools have what we call satellite bus stops arranged across the district. Some of those do happen at zone schools, but I can give you an example. One of the Highway 58 stops is there at the Food City, really close to the Chickamauga Dam there. That is one of the sites for our buses. I know that Hickson High School has a satellite spot. So if you are interested in a particular magnet school, you can see, you could go to our bus route website and kind of look and see what the closest satellite spot would be for you. So it doesn't necessarily come to your neighborhood, but it will come near your neighborhood.
Mhm.
So open enrollment schools do not have transportation provided except within their school zone. So that is something a family needs to really consider if they're looking at an open enrollment school is, can we get our student to school on time and pick them up and those sorts of things. So open enrollment schools do not provide transportation outside of their zone. Charter schools, however, do have their own transportation. They have their own school buses that they run routes, and you would check with that individual charter school to see how close a bus comes to you. And many times they will add a bus route if they have students in a particular area that are new. They can adjust and make it possible for you to catch a bus to the charter school.
Okay, great. Thank you for that information. And so as we wait for more parent questions to come in, Jim and Kelly, I do want to just, have us hit on a few general application questions. So we know that the application deadline for school choice is January 31st, which is coming up soon. For families who are applying, will they need to apply each year for school choice?
Kelly, go ahead.
So no, the answer is no. Once you're accepted, once you accept a seat, I should say, or are accepted to a program, then you continue in that program as long as your student stays in good standing, which means for all of our magnet and choice programs that they have a minimal number of absences and tardies. The family in magnet schools, you attend the 2 mandatory parent conferences and you have service hours to complete. Those are in magnet schools. Other schools, it is the attendance, minimal number of tardies, as well as a positive behavior record. And so as long as your student stays in good standing, you don't reapply, you just re-enroll each year, register for school like you would at any school. So that's a great thing. Once you are in, you are in.
That is a great thing. And so as a parent who is applying for school choice and they have 5 options that they can list, does it matter the order of my options? Do I get a top spot, or can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, there is no ranking of the 5 choices. In fact, you don't even have to make 5 choices if you only have one choice, and that's the one you really want, and you're not interested in anyone else, then you can put that one school. But if you do put 5, there is not any kind of ranking to that. It is possible that you could be offered a seat at a couple of different schools, or all 5, or none, unfortunately. So in the immediate offerings. So yeah, no ranking, and you don't have to choose all 5.
Okay, that's good to know. And so regarding our Future Ready Institutes, there's a question, and I'm going to may have to repeat this to make sure I'm saying it correctly, but Future Ready can be decided later, or has there to be prior, or does it need to be done prior to the freshman year? So basically the question, Lisa, is like, when is it too late to decide about a Future Ready program?
Okay, well, once you start 9th grade, and if you were to choose an institute, you will need to stay in that same program until the end of that school year. And then if you wanted to change after freshman year, you may do so if the student finds there's another institute within that school that they're interested in. They're more than welcome to pursue that.
Okay, and so a similar question is, when I was wondering, how can I make changes to an application before the deadline? So, Jim.
So we have this wonderful person in our office named Jennifer Workman, and I think the Future Ready, the school choice office number will be posted at the end, but 498-6762. She is glad to take your call and help. She could be on the phone with you as she makes the adjustments, or you can email that to her as well at workman_Jennifer@hcde.org. And we have that posted all over our school choice page, or actually best would be to choose Hamilton at hcd.org, because that one is monitored by all of us. So we can definitely get back to you with that to take care of that changes. And we have done a few of those already.
Okay, thank you. And Kelly, this is a good question for you. What is the difference between a magnet school and a charter school?
Sure. Magnet schools are what I would say traditional Hamilton County District schools. So they are a full part of our Hamilton County District. As we mentioned earlier, they have our transportation system. They follow our school schedule. They are a part of Hamilton County Schools, just as any zone school is a part of our district. Charter schools are a little different in that they have an agreement, which is what a charter is. That's the definition of a charter, is a contract or an agreement with the district to operate within our county. And so they are a part of our district, but yet they are set apart. So they operate a little differently. They may have a different calendar year. They do their own transportation. They do their own hiring. They get to choose their own curriculum. So they have some benefits to being more independent from the district, and some differences that kind of set them apart. They do have full accountability to the state of Tennessee, just like a district school does, as well as to Hamilton County. They have some accountability to us, and that's part of my responsibility is the oversight of those charter school points that they have to meet and requirements that they have to meet to continue operating in Hamilton County.
Okay. And the application process, Kelly, for charter schools, could you just mention that really briefly?
Sure. So right now, this year, Hamilton County school choice application contains the application for Ivy Academy, Skillern Elementary, Chattanooga Charter School of Excellence Elementary, Middle, and High. So our other charter schools, which include CGLA, Montessori of Highland Park, Chattanooga Prep, and who am I leaving out? Chattanooga Prep. They all do their own application process. I think I did name them all. So you apply directly to that school. You would go to that school's website, call the school directly. They also are open for tours and have open houses and information nights, and would be happy to give you their information as well. But Ivy, Skillern, and the Chattanooga Charter Schools are on our lottery application.
Okay. And Kelly, a similar question for charter schools. Are the charter schools considered current HCS students, or are they new to the district, just so families know when they're applying?
Yeah, that's a great question. If you are attending a charter, you are considered a Hamilton County student, because the charter schools use our same Power School information system. And so those students are already in our Power School. So please do apply as a current student.
Okay. And Lisa, I have a question for you regarding lottery seats. So the comment is, just for Future Ready Institute, the website describes a little bit about, the lottery. So how many seats are available for each program? Is there a difference for each institute?
Yes, there is actually a difference for each institute. It just depends on how many seats they have available. So it depends on how many current freshmen they have, how many sophomores. So it just depends on what they have available. And then once they hit that max number, they individually go into a lottery system at that particular school.
Okay, that was a really good question. So thank you for who asked that. And so, Jim, a similar question regarding seats. So there's a question just asking about the availability of seats, and are they specified for different students or students in different positions? Could you speak just very generally to just how the lottery process is done, just to give families who aren't familiar with our system a really quick overview.
Yeah, that's a great question. No, there are not separate seats held for kids with disabilities, but the seats are available for all students. So first of all, I just want to make sure that people understand too that we get a lot of confusion between registration and applying for school choice. So I think a lot of people are really used to the word of registration. So you want to make sure that you're filling out the school choice lottery application. Okay. And that's the easiest way is to go to our Hamilton County Schools website, click on school choice, the school choice icon in the middle of the page. That will take you to our main page. If you scroll down about halfway down, you'll see an application for 3 different kinds of applications. One is for existing students who are already Hamilton County students. There's one for new students that might be students coming in for kindergarten or coming in from out of town or from a private school situation. And then we also have an application in Spanish. So we definitely, and then if you have any problem, we can come to that support session next Monday or give us a call to our office. But to go back to the original question is that there is no determination about disability or a regular ed student. Those seats are available to all.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you for mentioning about resources to our Spanish-speaking families. You can see that there was listed on the bottom of the screen that we have a contact with our International Welcome Center where families can receive support for completing the application in Spanish. But also on our website that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, we have a video that walks families through the application process, both in English and Spanish. So we're really excited about that. And another question, Jim, that we have about, we're actually getting quite a few questions, so we definitely appreciate this. So one question is regarding the number of choices. How will we know about the results of the school choice lottery, and what are the steps need to be taken after that?
So so the district will run the lottery on February 10th, Friday, February 10th, and then they will share out those offers or those seat offers on February 17th. Families will be notified by the first email that was on the application. We were very specific about double checking that email and having a place for you to verify it. And so it needs to be one of those emails that you check regularly. Unfortunately, that's the main way that we can communicate that. And a letter will be sent to you about making the selection of whatever school you may have been offered. You have 7 days to get that done. So the deadline for families to respond via that email will be on February 24th. So let me just kind of recap that. On February 10th, the district will run the lottery. On February 17th, emails of seat offers will go out to families. And then the deadline for families to accept a seat will be on February 24th.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that. And so a new question that's come in is regarding to where we talked about the ranking of choices, which we know they're all equally looked at. So if our 5 choices are not ranked and we get a seat in the choice lottery, how is it determined which school is attended?
Do you want me to?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Kelly.
I just thought I'd take a turn. So the way I like to explain it is it's really a small lottery is run for each school that is in the school choice application. So there's a lottery for 2nd grade at Snow Hill for those applicants. There's a lottery for Hickson High School 10th grade for those applicants. And then the results of that lottery are sent to those applicants, and it will let you know if you were offered a seat or if you're waitlisted. So when you get your results email, you'll have hopefully a choice to make if you were offered more than one school. And you do have to decide, are you going to accept or decline each offer? A family can only accept one school because you can't hold a place, for more than one student. You need to hold a place for your student. So you may get an offer from more than one school if your name is pulled. It is actually a lottery. So you may get more than one offer, or like Mr. Bowles said a few minutes ago, you may get all waitlisted. We do continue to pull from the wait list throughout the spring and summer because people do change their mind or they move out of town. Things do happen where we can move to the wait list and offer the next person a spot. And so when that happens, you receive another email at that email address with the new offer. And even if you've made a decision to accept another school earlier, you can decline that first school and accept the new offer. But again, you have to only accept the one at a time.
So Kelly, thanks so much for addressing that. And I have another question for you. So you talked a little bit about the wait list. And so I wanted to see if you could just explain what is meant by the wait list.
Sure. So the wait list is created when we have more applicants than we do have spaces. So if we had 5 spaces for a second grade spot, but we had 20 applicants, 15 people will go to the wait list. And they are ordered randomly by the lottery process. And you actually will be able to see what number your student is in that wait list when you get your results. And that wait list continues all the way through August and the first day of school, well, a little bit before the first day of school. And then that wait list is deleted and we start the process over for the new school year. So you can remain on the wait list and have a chance at your schools all the way through the first part of August.
Okay. And so I am actually going to ask this question to Lisa. Would a rising freshman that is applying for a Future Ready Institute for the school that they are already zoned for automatically be accepted into that program, or do they need to go into the lottery pool?
I swear I was going to make sure I did not do that once this whole time.
It's okay. I did it also.
We all have to do it once. They're able to be in that institute until the cap is met. And then, they would go into that. And then a student would be eligible through the lottery system.
Okay. And another question that's come in is my family and I are relocating to Chattanooga in May, June. Since we currently don't have an address, I'm in Hamilton County. Can we still apply by January 31st?
Yeah, unfortunately, you cannot until you have a residency in Hamilton County. But that does bring us to another opportunity. If you do miss the first, what we call the lottery round, we do open applications back up to schools that have not fulfilled their seats beginning March 1st all the way through August 1st of this school year. So and that really is to hopefully accommodate our folks who may be moving in a little bit later than the application process. So we want to be able to try to meet your needs as well. So the answer is no, you can't apply until you have that address, but there will be a second application process between March 1st and August 1st for any schools that still have seats available.
And so, Jim, a quick question regarding this second round of the lottery process is that which families does that apply to you?
I appreciate that. Thank you for the clarification, Angela. That is for new applications only. Okay, so our families who have already applied, they obviously will be on some wait lists, and So the second round is for new applicants only, people who did not apply during the lottery round.
Okay. And so one question regarding this hits on hardships a little bit. So Kelly or Jim, I don't know which of you prefer to take this one on, but if a family is wanting to attend a school outside of their zone due to a hardship reason, does that school need to be added to their school choice lottery application?
Sorry for that. You may apply to your school that you are considering a hardship to if it is available in the school choice lottery. With so many choices in Hamilton County that are available through our application process, we really are trying to limit hardship applications to true, medical reasons or legal reasons. So there's a very limited kind of application requirement for hardships. It's a pretty strict requirement. So I definitely would recommend that you go ahead and do the application, the lottery application as well, just in case your hardship is not approved.
Okay. And Lisa, there's a question on what is a Future Ready Institute? I know that is a full question. And so just for our families who may be joining, do you care to share a little bit about our FRIs, particularly because we just had our Get Future Ready event?
That question does lend itself to quite a long answer. But our Future Ready Institutes are many schools within our larger high schools. So they're smaller learning communities with the content based on the different career types. So we have like welding and we have marketing. So they're just where students would learn their core content area classes. They would learn about just through that career choice itself. So it's not only about careers, but also college and other post-secondary training programs. So, but there's quite a bit of information on our Hamilton County Schools website. If you look under school choice, you'll see a section for Future Ready Institutes, and you will see them listed by school as well as by pathway. So if you have a student who's interested in logistics or something like that, they can see which schools have those programs.
Okay. And Kelly, there's been a request, just a little bit of a recap regarding the lottery pool. So I'm going to put you on the spot again. But if you could explain the lottery pool a little bit more, just so that families can understand. And there's a specific question or an example, like if a school has 15 spots and there are 20 applicants, 5 are already zoned. How does that end up playing out? But if you could kind of respond to that a little bit more.
I think that actually may be a Future Ready question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Lisa, that was for you. My apologies.
It's okay.
Well, you can go ahead and answer it if you want to, Kelly. I'm more than happy to have you. Okay, I'd like to read through that. Where was the question again? Having it up kind of helps. So 15 spots for each institute, 20 applicants. Yes, 5 already zoned for Hickson High. I wanted to make sure that I get some clarification on that, but I know that there's the particular question because it's already a student, hypothetically, who would be at that school at Hickson High School, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah, my understanding, Lisa, my understanding is that the seats that are showing for Future Ready would be for students outside of the zone. Mm-hmm. Those would be additional seats to whatever's filled in-house.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. That does remind me that is the correct answer. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, and so we are actually pushing towards our wrap-up time, but I want to give families opportunities to submit any questions that they may have regarding school choice, considering that the application deadline is, can you believe it, just about 2 weeks away. But while we are in our wrap-up process, Jim, is there anything that you would like to add that's really important for families to know?
Yeah, I think one thing that we haven't discussed tonight is that when you are making a choice under the school choice application, you're committing to a full year of being in that school. We do know there are some exceptions to that, but really, once a student is seated into a school choice, um, we want both you, the family, and the school itself to really make an effort to make things work. And I know things aren't always perfect, but just know that when you're selecting these schools and accepting these positions, you are putting in for a year-long commitment. So, and I think that's important. I think it's important that you do your research on the school that you're applying for, and know what you're doing. And I can tell you that we do receive calls often about the request to maybe switch back or from time to time, and I can always tell you that we'll redirect that right back to the school, because we want to make whatever issue may be happening work out for both sides. And so we'll work with you to make things work. So that's just one thing we hadn't talked about.
Great. And I see we have scrolling on the screen an email for chooshamilton@hcde.org. If there are specific questions that you have, or if you view this later and have a question, you can send your email an email to that email address and get some support for the question that you have. We do have another question that has come in regarding the wait list, and it's kind of a specific question, but I think it's if you are on the wait list up until school starts and you were number 3 and didn't get in, does that mean that next time you may be likely, or I'm sorry, or would your number, or would it be another number next time?
I'll be the waitlist person again. It does mean that because the process ends when school begins. So all of the wait lists disappear and the process begins again. And so when you reapply, if you're not accepted, you might get waitlisted, be number 1, or you could be number 20. It is a whole new process once we finish one and go to the next year. So definitely, things will change for you.
Okay. Kelly, thank you so much for answering that. Well, we are actually coming up on close to our 7 o'clock mark, and I want our families to be able to enjoy your evening and time with your students. If there are additional questions that you have, once again, you can send that to choosehamilton@hcde.org if your question was not answered tonight. I do appreciate everyone that we have had here with us, but I do want to make sure that before we sign off, that we give our school choice team an opportunity just to speak to our families. And Lisa, I can start with you.
Okay, well, like I said at the beginning, I'm really excited to be here and promote the wonderful things that are happening in our institutes. And I know that the hour that we've provided could not begin to describe all of the great things that are happening in our schools. So on the website that I've mentioned a couple of times for Future Ready, the page that is the section of Hamilton County Schools website, you can see my contact information. There's a lot of other information where you can take the time to read it when you have a free moment. I did want to clarify one thing if we have just a second, because the question came up a couple of times. I want to make sure that I wasn't unclear. But when we were talking about the cap for certain institutes, that's only for the out of zone students, or if it gets above the 50 plus student threshold, because we have a limit of how many students we can legally have in our programs, in our classrooms. So we have 2 different kinds of institutes. We have what's wall to wall, where every student in the school is in an institute such as Eastridge High School, and then we have what we call our pocket academy schools like Howard, where there are 4 institutes there, but students can choose and they may not be in any institute. So those are the 2 differences. That I just want to make that clarification for anyone that might help.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Lisa. We appreciate that. We're such a close team. We've been together since this process that everyone's name is running together. But thanks, Lisa. And Kelly, would you like to share some final words?
Sure. I just want to reiterate to everyone listening and watching that we are here on the other end of an email or a phone call to answer your questions. When you call us, when you email, you get a real person, and we'll do our very best to answer your questions, whether you need something explained again that we talked about here tonight, or you have additional questions that are particular to your student and your situation. Jim, myself, and Jennifer in our office are here for you. That's what we're here for, and we want to do our very best to help parents and students match up with the best situation for their student. That's why we have this great opportunity in Hamilton County for school choice. It makes us a very unique district. People move in all the time and say, wow, this is new to us. We didn't know about this. And it's really a wonderful opportunity for you to be able to make some choices and that are empowering for you and your family and for your student as they progress through their K-12 experience. So do call us, do email choosehamilton.org, or call 498-6762.
Okay, and Jim, do you want to get ready to close us out?
Sure, be glad to. I just want to, kind of do my little spiel about the fact that, school choice is such an important piece of what Hamilton County Schools is doing. We have our zone schools are fantastic. I mean, they work diligently bringing you the best education possible, but having opportunities outside of the zone schools, like a magnet, like some early college and career, having these future ready institutes, charter, there's just so many options. What it's all about, it's not about escaping something. It's about trying to match our students to what's best for them. And I think that's what this is all about. And if we can do that, then we've had a good day. So don't forget that next Tuesday, actually, I believe the 23rd it's a Monday. January 23rd from 9 to 1, we will be in the boardroom. And if you're like me, you don't want to talk to a computer, but we'll sit down one-on-one, and we'll sit down at a computer and we will help you through the application process. If you have any issues with that, we're here to help you. We can do that over the phone. We can do that, through a Zoom. But if you're like me, you want to be with the person right next to them, and we can do it there with you in the boardroom on Monday the 23rd. So be sure to be there. Hope this has been helpful to everyone.
Well, thank you all for joining us for the School Choice Facebook Live Q&A session. Please share this with your family and friends who are not available so they can go back and just watch this session and get some of their questions answered. So thank you all. Thank you, School Choice team. It has been a really fabulous experience working with you and being with you tonight. And thank you all, and everyone have a great evening.